This is the Fantasy Roadshow.
Hey, welcome in everybody to another rendition of the Fantasy Roadshow. We are your hosts. My name is Ryan. This is Mike. You can find me on Twitter at fantasy_trucker, and you can find him on Twitter at Kulz Sports.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna get after it today, Mike. I don't know. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready. Tell the people what's going on here.
Okay, so we're covering wide receiver Dynasty Wide Receiver Rankings 61 through 90. So like the bottom of the barrel wide receivers that you would consider rostering in Dynasty Fantasy Football. Okay, now these are rough to get through. Okay, these are not exciting players. These are not players that have a long stat sheet to go off of. These are not players that you're excited about. However, in order to make this entertaining, we're going to try out a new segment today. And this segment is called Kulz Sports Speed Thoughts. Okay? We're going to have Mike run through. You're going to hear off the cuff. You're going to hear unfiltered. You're going to hear the real deal Kulz Sports Speed Thoughts. Mike, are you ready for this?
We're about to find out, man. This is going to be crazy. This is like the fantasy football version of what is that rapping called? The just off
freestyle rap.
This is fantasy football freestyle.
The freestyle fantasy football.
Just like bottom
tier
wide receiver. Yeah, bottom tier wide receiver thoughts. So we'll see what happens. We'll see how my brain comprehends this.
I hope everyone's ready because it's about to go crazy.
Cannonball!
Get
All
it,
right.
Mike.
61, Cedric Tillman, Tennessee wide receiver, rookie for the Dog Pound. That's where you're at right now. We'll see what happens there. He's got a wide receiver room with Cooper and Eli Moore to shake out. David Bell, we'll talk about him later. Tyler Boyd, seems like his days are pretty much over there in Cincinnati. Wide receiver 3 has been good for them. Anytime anyone's injured, he steps up and performs well. We'll see what happens. DJ Chark, he could be a wide receiver 1 for Bryce Young, trying to figure things out in Carolina. John Mechie, cancer survivor. He's on Houston. He has pretty much a rookie. He hasn't seen any NFL time. That room's still shaking out too, so he could have a good role. Terrace Marshall Jr., go Tigers. He was on a national championship team with Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. They're saying out of camp that he could very well have a wide receiver 1 role, or we'll see what happens. Young receiver with a lot of room to grow. Josh Downs, he's in a bad situation, I think, with Richardson, but young rookie receiver, very talented. Tyquan Thornton, he showed flashes last year with his speed for the Patriots. Mac Jones seemed to like him, but Hopkins, we'll see what happens there, and that could change things for Tyquan Thornton. Rashid Shaheed, undrafted out of Weber State. What?
Weber State?
He showed out last year as a deep threat. I expect him to come in and perform pretty well as a wide receiver, too, for the Saints. Paris Campbell, very athletic guy. Giants paid him, brought him in, want him to be their kind of threat there with Daniel Jones, kind of a quick, shifty receiver. We'll see what happens. He could be a wide receiver 1 for DJ moving forward. Tank Dell, rookie out of Houston, 165 pounds. CJ Stroud seemed to like him. They drafted him because of that. We'll see what kind of chemistry they build on moving forward. Puka Nacua, he is on the Rams, BYU rookie, and seems to be potentially slipping into a Robert Woods role. Van Jefferson's going to try to hold him out as the wide receiver 2, but we'll see. He could potentially make some movement there. Michael Thomas hasn't been healthy in a while. We'll see what kind of receiver he comes out and shows to be. He's going to be behind Olave, we're expecting, but a lot of things to shake out there. Michael Wilson, rookie receiver, I believe from Stanford. He is on the Arizona Cardinals. That team's going to be a mess this year. I would stay away, but he is a talented receiver with a good frame. Curtis Samuel, veteran. I like him a lot. Whenever he can be on the field, he's done really well for the Redskins. That team also, I think, is going to be a mess. So we'll see. Michael Gallup, he is a wide receiver 3 coming up back from injury. He had his shot as a wide receiver 2. I am not very high on him. I don't think he's going to realize his potential. So no go for me. Justin Ross, another guy, cannot get away from the injury bug. He could be a serious weapon for Mahomes, which gives him a high ceiling, but also a very low floor. He might not even make the team. Adam Thielen seems to be the senior presence in that Panthers wide receiver room and could be the sure-handed safety comfort blanket for Bryce Young as he evolves in the league. Jalen Hyatt, he is a vertical receiver out of Tennessee, rookie. I don't like him. They drafted
trash.
The Giants, but he runs up and down. He can catch balls, but to me, not very talented. Odell Beckham Jr., that guy, who knows what world he's living on. He might have lost his brain, and he's somewhere with Josh Gordon and Johnny Manziel at this point. Who really knows? DPJ has been great. Or let's say Alec Pierce. Alec Pierce, he's at my AD spot. I share a dentist with him in Wheaton, Illinois, so I have nothing good things to say about Alec Pierce. You didn't know that his brother was also on the Princeton team as a rookie this year, or as a freshman this year on the Princeton basketball team. Saw them make a deep run in the March Madness. Alec Pierce is a great receiver. Don't like the Colts, so we'll see what happens with him and his career moving forward. DPJ, that's a guy that stepped into a role for the Browns where things were just pretty shaky the last couple of years, but he's been a sure-handed target. We'll see if Cooper steps in and he kind of has a support role there. Chase Claypool, ceiling's really high, seems to be a egomaniac. You could probably throw him in that same bucket as Donald Trump Jr. And just kind of a crazy person, egomaniac, and we'll see what happens there. But talent level's high. They traded a second-round draft pick for him, but I don't think he's worth that value. Alan Lazard, sure-handed target for Rodgers, went over the Jets. He could catch some touchdowns this year and kind of help Rodgers out, figure out that young offense. Hunter Renfrow, God knows where he is these days. He had a couple flashes of greatness as a slot receiver, sure-handed guy for the Raiders, but we'll see if he can work back into that role. Zay Jones, awesome last year. I think his stock went down a little bit with Calvin Ridley and with Calvin Ridley and Christian Kirk there. So I don't expect much from Zay Jones, but he is a young, very good third option. Josh Palmer had his chance last year. They brought in Quentin Johnson. Goodbye, Josh Palmer. See ya. Hodgins, never been a Hodgins guy. He'll have a role. He'll have an opportunity with the Giants. He did a little bit, but he's just not athletic to me, and you got to be athletic to be a receiver. Khalil Shakur, Boise State wide receiver. He's got an opportunity to be a serious weapon, maybe fill in that Isaiah McKenzie role. I could see him doing some things with the Bills. KJ Osborne looked like he was going to be an awesome threat for the complementary piece once the transition from Thielen and JJ, but now they brought in Jordan Addison, so his role's diminished. I don't really like him moving forward. Allen Robinson, get out of here, and that is 90.
Hey-oh. Woo!
Don't act like you're not impressed.
What did you think?
Nicely done, Mike.
I don't even know how that
done.
was.
That was great, man. Listening to that, you had some Donald Trump Jr. comparisons in there.
I don't even know where that came from, dude. I was trying to think of in my mind, like Chase Claypool is just such a crazy person. I was just trying to think of like any other like people that have serious ego issues that have just lost their mind in their own like whatever. That was out of it.
That was great. That was gold. That was fantastic. That couldn't have gone better.
Wow. Well, thank you. I was a little worried, to be honest. Like that
was great. It's off the cuff. This is fantasy football freestyle. Okay.
That's what it was.
This is what it is. Take it as you will. These are players that you need to know about, and you just found out about them. Okay.
Is Michael Wilson from Stanford, by the way?
I don't know if that's true
he's
or not.
Stanford wide receiver.
He might be. I know he has a legitimate chance to be a weapon for this Cardinals team if they can figure out what the hell's going on over there. If they're not a complete dumpster fire. But yeah, no,
Stanford.
I
Yeah, he was Stanford. I got that right.
put it on the board. One for the mic. But yeah, man, that was fantastic. That was great.
Thank you.
I that was awesome. That was awesome.
I don't know. I mean, I would be okay using that as our final episode. Like, you saw the episode before, things just get a little bit like, I'm gonna come out and be honest. Like, I didn't think our previous episode was the best that we did, and I think the episode before that, when we did 31 to 40, I thought that was our best episode to date.
21 to 40 episode was great, and we followed it up with a total stinker.
And
so
we didn't want to do 2 stinkers in a row, so we just kind of, we understand we have to get through these dynasty rankings. We committed to it in the beginning. We're very happy we did it because it provides a vault of our thoughts heading into the season. And as a new podcast, we think dynasty is very important, and we're working into redraft season, but we want you to get our long-term thoughts on everyone. So, it was starting to get sleepy. We wanted to mix it up, and that was our thought. And Ryan seems to think it executed well. I would probably have to listen back at it to agree with you, because I just kind of went, and here we are.
Yeah, absolutely. We actually were talking about this today. We're transitioning. We were just doing every day of the week for the running backs and wide receiver rankings, but we're going to be doing every day of the week moving forward. Yeah. Like, we have so much stuff to cover. We got to get you guys the right information, and we want to build a legitimate following. So stay tuned. We have some great things in the works here, and it's only going to get better from here.
Yeah, and I think we've just also, I'm very proud of the work we put in, and I think we've grown so much since we decided we were going to do 3 days, to where we can sit down and press record and pretty much go through an entire video, an entire podcast, where we feel like we don't have to edit much. So, I think that allows us to just have the time to do an episode a day. You know what I mean? You can speak more to the editing and the producing of things, but when we first started, we would sit down and kick around ideas, and it wasn't very smooth. But now we're starting to kind of able to at least get it down and understand in the podcast what needs to be done to keep things smooth when it comes to editing. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just rambling.
No, you're making sense to me. So, it is what it is, though. I think we've covered a lot here. We have tight ends coming up next. That's not that deep of a pool. I believe should be able to do that in about 2 episodes or so. After that, we have a long laundry list of stuff we're going to be covering. So, anything that you need to know about, we will be covering. Make sure you come here first for all of your fantasy football news.
Yeah, and we have a very exciting list of guests coming up. Our first guest is a guy from Fantasy Pros. You will have known him in the space, so we're excited for that to come out next week. We're going to have a sports medicine doctor. Hopefully we can convince him live on air to be our resident sports doctor. So
fingers crossed.
I doubt he hears this prior to the episode. So this will be our dirty little secret. We're going to put him on the spot. That'll be great.
Love it.
And yeah, some local guys in Chicago, just a little bit of everything, talking fantasy, talking, and this upcoming season. We're really excited.
Yeah, I can't wait, man. We got mock drafts, best ball drafts, you name it. We're going to be covering it. It's going to be every day of the week. Stay tuned. And most importantly, buckle up.